Poppy, baby.
Ready. What's good, y'all? It's your boy Positive Papi, baby. And we're back with another episode of Papi and Friends. Wow.
Papi and Friends.
Papi and Friends, you know what it is. I'm sitting with my girl, Sisi Hood. What it do?
What up, Positive Papi?
Yo, thank you for hopping on. Let's just tell the listeners who you are, what you do, kind of like a little bit about yourself.
Okay. I am my name is Sisi Hood or Sierra Hood. Hood is my actual last name, government.
I had to ask. I
get asked that a lot. They're like, what's your Instagram? Sisi Hood. I'm like, it's my last name.
That's tight. That's tight.
Yeah. But I'm a visual artist and I'm from Big Bear, but I've been in LA for 10 years now.
Hold on. You're from Big Bear? I've never met somebody from Big Bear. Wow.
I hear that every time I say that.
I'm from Ontario because I was wondering, because I saw the 909 and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wow.
Big Bear.
Wow. I guess I never knew what to expect from a Big Bearian.
Yeah. Not this. This is not normal for a Big Bearian. I'm the black sheep of Big Bear.
Tight.
Yeah, it adds character.
No, for real. Like that's a whole ass story right there.
Yeah.
Well,
but yes, but I've been in LA this summer. It'll be 10 years. It'll be my 10-year anniversary. Yes. So I've been in LA for 10 years now, making art, and I do all kinds of art. I do painting, drawing, digital art, sculpting, paper mache. I do some sewing. I went to school for fashion design, and then I dropped out and just went full blown art.
Vibes.
What else about me? I'm Japanese, Filipino, and white. So
that's lit. That's like what's the spam subi or
spam musubi?
That's like you like the seaweed's like the white part. Though,
I love spam
because you know white girls be loving seaweed now. It's like that's the white and you got vibes.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just all mixed up. And then my whole family's we're like the United Nations because
not the UN.
My mom is the Japanese and Filipino one, and she's from Hawaii. So we have like Hawaii, Hawaiian native. And then both my parents got divorced, or my parents got divorced, and both of them remarried. And so my stepmom is Cuban, and then my stepdad was Black. So we just have all mixed up.
Y'all really are the UN.
Yeah, cultural
that's tight though.
Mixing pot. Yeah, that's me.
That's tight. You are the gumbo.
Yes, exactly.
Vibes. I fuck with it. So yeah. You like dived in. You killed it. Like I was like, I'm like,
this is what matters. So.
Oh, I love it. I mean, I like to warm up normally. Like, what's your favorite color and why?
You can ask that too. I feel like pink. I have to say pink because I have pink everywhere around me in my life.
Okay.
But I would say orange is my favorite color.
Okay, talk to me about that. I don't think I've ever got an orange.
Really?
I think I've got like one orange, but that's unique. So tell me.
I don't know. I'm just drawn to orange. Like, I had to get, the orange telly.
Ooh, don't do it to him. Oh.
My nails is orange.
Hey.
I'm just drawn to the color orange. It's like my happy color.
Okay.
There's no real like rhyme or reason. It's just.
I feel that though.
Does it for me. Okay.
Nah, that makes sense. What if you had to describe yourself in one word? What would that be and why? Just one.
One word. That's a hard one. I'm also a Libra. Maybe my word is Libra, so I'm very indecisive.
That's a Libra answer right there.
It is. I can't. Yeah. I have to think about that one. I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, we'll come back to it.
That's something that's not like basic, like creative because that's the easy one. But I feel like I feel like I have a good word for you. I just feel like it needs to come to me.
How about by the end of the episode, we're gonna readdress that and see where we landed.
Yeah.
And if you figured out that word by the end of the episode, that means I did a great fucking job at my job.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
That's why I was talking to somebody earlier because I told them I'm like I haven't like done any interview types or podcasts for a long time. I'm like I feel like I'm bad at talking about myself. Like if you ask me like who's your favorite this, who's your favorite that, like I'm blanking because I like haven't talked about myself in a long time.
I feel that. Well, I'm happy to kickstart that for you. Like I don't know. I think there's fun, and there's also creative power that comes from talking about your history, yourself, the whys we do things, the why and reason we do things. Because often, like I don't know, for me, like as a creative, I'll make something, and then afterwards, I'm like, oh, that's what I meant. That was tight.
No, that happens to me all the time. I'm like, I started with no real purpose, and then it develops its own purpose throughout the process. So.
Exactly. And so that's why it's like it's dope to revisit shit as a creative. So let's start the journey. Talk to me. So hometown's Big Bear.
Hometown is Big Bear.
Never expected that.
Yeah, Big Bear. Born and raised. Well, I was born in Apple Valley, but it's because you can't be born in Big Bear unless it's like an emergency, because that's how small it is. Like you don't want to be born in Big Bear. But yeah, so I grew up in Big Bear, born and raised. I was like the art kid, but because there's nothing to do in Big Bear, you're just like forced into like outdoor sports.
Word. So, did you have one of the bro trucks up there?
I didn't. I actually didn't. All my friends did. So I just wrote like I had a little Honda Accord. So when it was icy, somebody with the big bro truck would come pick me up because my little Honda Accord would go all over the road. But yeah, we were there. I was definitely in a lot of bro trucks, sliding on the ice and doing donuts and dumb shit. So
Big Bear, I love it. So how'd you get into art? Because I mean, I've gone to Big Bear and it doesn't say art.
It doesn't. I've always been into art. Like ever since I was like a little kid, I was always drawing and gluing stuff together. But my grandma, she's an artist. She does like watercolor paintings, very like flowers and wildlife and landscapes. And then my babysitter, when I was really young, she just drew all the time. So she would always make me like paper dolls. I would always be making paper dolls with her. So those are like probably my first interactions with art. And then I just, throughout school, was always taking art classes, was always doing it in my free time. So it just developed. But back then, I feel like it wasn't really accepted to be an artist.
Right.
But so that's why
that's pre-Instagram.
Yeah, this was all pre-Instagram. I'm a 93 baby.
So that's like MySpace.
Yes, I was a MySpace.
Tumblr.
So yeah, so art was cool and all, like it was fun, but it was definitely not a career path. So I would do all these art classes, but then my goal was to be in fashion design because I'm like, I can make, everybody needs clothes. Like I can make clothes.
Smart. That's a great point. even cavemen had clothes.
Yeah. So then I went to school for fashion design and then had to take all kinds of art classes for all my prerequisites, and then just ended up liking art more, and I started getting booked for art gigs. So like I feel like that was just like fast forward if you like that. There's fast forward.
There's like this area that I want to explore, expand that. So like
there's not much area.
It's just like, how did you go from fashion school though, like to who you are now? Or was that building along the whole way?
It was building along, yeah. Because like when I was in fashion school, one of my prerequisite classes that was really good for me was like 3D art.
Okay.
So that's where I learned how to paper mache, and I was just like learning things in school, and then I was able to already be getting jobs doing that outside of school, and then I was missing classes because I was getting paid to like glue things together. And I think I missed one big final one time. And then that was my deciding point. I was like, I'm not coming back from this. So I'm like, I'm gonna just drop out. But I'm
hey, hey, she said banzai.
Hey, really that. I didn't tell my mom. I was like, I'm not going back to school. I didn't tell her. I was just like, I'm taking a break.
Word.
Yeah.
Such a millennial thing to say.
Yeah, it was.
I love it though. But look at you now. Like sometimes we need to take those breaks, right?
Yeah.
Step away from things.
Yeah. I was supposed to be only taking first it was a 1-year hiatus from school. Like you have to like turn in paperwork with the school. So I was like, I'm coming back. Because all I could remember on that first day of school was them saying, look to your left, look to your right. Like most of these people will not be here on graduation day.
No, they didn't.
Yes. And I was like, I'm determined to not be that person that doesn't make it to graduation. Like I said that in my head. I was like, oh no, I'm gonna be here on graduation.
Right.
So I was like,
but maybe, okay, walk with me with this theory. College is all bullshit in my opinion. And so it's like, what if real graduation is based on everybody's readiness to enter their career? You feel me?
I think that's 100% it. Yeah.
Like that makes sense.
I had my graduation.
You feel me? The Babe Cave. All the art you've done.
Been graduated.
Been graduated. Hashtag,
I'm in my master's.
Hashtag doctorate.
Period.
I love it. I love that. So like, okay. But still, I want to like kind of like learn more. What are some of those paper mache opportunities? How did that? So like, is the mache kind of what really pushed you into doing it, or?
No, that was just an example.
Okay.
I was getting some projects, but like that. But it was painting. Like I was getting a lot of like murals, and like people wanting like custom paintings, and they were like pretty big, and like so yeah, I was like doing that while simultaneously going to school. And then when I went like full, there was one semester where I was like, I'm gonna get A's. Yeah. And so I like went full on school mode, and I was miserable. Like I was depressed. That's when I really developed anxiety, like and no art was being made. So after that, I was like, no, I'm gonna do art and school. And then slowly it just became
I feel that.
And yeah, like, there was, I was starting to get paid. So I was like, what am I going to school for when I'm making all these connections outside of school? And I'm not going to miss these opportunities for a class. So I just kept missing school.
I mean, I think it all pays off. And I think like what's interesting is people get so stuck in what society tells us to do and like how we should live our life and blah, blah, blah. But it's in reality, you just got to listen to your own drum and do what feels right. Like I've been on this whole vibe right now, just riding whatever wave comes my way. Cliche as fuck, corny as fuck, I know. But it's just like I don't surf, but I could imagine if you try to go against the wave, you're going to lose. Yeah,
so you might as well ride each one, even if it's scary.
Have some fun with that shit, right?
For sure.
Okay. So what was there a certain project that kind of like put you on the map that like made you like that kind of like helped you pop? Because I think it's safe to say that you're popping right now, right?
I could agree. I'm a little popping.
Right.
I don't know. Well, what's great, I think, about my journey is it was like several like little things that just kept like, you could see the growth because there were just very small things that kind of popped me. And it was really random. Like I would say like, I have been very blessed and lucky, and like my name's just been put into the right spaces, and I've gotten the promotion that I have gotten. Because I think this was all like when I was in school, like when I first made my Valentine's Day cards, I was just trying to make money. And so I made these like nasty Valentine's Day cards. This was probably 2016. And it was right before I got fired from my big job. And, but one of my friends bought like a whole set of the cards, and she was Kaylani's stylist at the time.
Okay.
And so she ended up giving the cards to Kaylani, and then Kaylani posted them and was like, Sisi Hood, you're a genius. So then like I got a lot of new clients and customers after that. So there was like that. And then another one was, this was when I missed school for this project, but I was getting paid and it was a good project. So I was like, after that, I kind of never went back. Was I got hired to do a mural for Diddy's sons, Prince and the other one.
I'm the worst.
Mini Diddy. Yeah, Mini Diddy and his brother.
I'm dead.
They had a Halloween party. They do the annual Halloween party. So they hired me to do this like huge mural, like photo backdrop of the Purge, because the theme that year was the Purge. So I like painted this humongous Purge mural for their party. And I had like a week's notice, but I was like, I'm not gonna say no. So I like missed school, I missed work, and I was just painting for a week solid, not a lot of sleep, but it got done.
That's crazy.
So yeah, I think both of those were like 2015, 2016, and that kind of what started it, I would say.
I feel that. Do you find it hard to, like, getting clients these days? Or like, I guess what I really want is to like help people. I know a lot of people listening are probably wondering, how do I get a gig? How do I do that? Or, you know, do you have any advice for that? You know, because I feel like a lot of it is learning how to navigate networking and just, you know,
it's all about networking. Like when people tell you, like, it's true, it's all about networking, but it's doing it in like a purposeful way without being thirsty. Because
message
be purposeful, but don't be thirsty. Like, because I 100% have gotten all of my gigs through word of mouth, and word of mouth is very, very, very important, especially in the LA art scene. Is you just got to know people. Like every once in a while you'll get a lucky break, but all of my lucky breaks have been because I knew somebody who knew somebody and they said my name.
Right.
So yeah, so it's just like you don't have to necessarily like be thirsty and network to the top right away, but it's networking across, because all these people that you network across with, they all know somebody. It's LA. So it's me talking to Kehlani's stylist, it's me partying with these one girls, and we just kept meeting each other at parties, and then they were party planning for Diddy, and that's how I got my name in there. Damn. So it's really about networking. You have to network.
You said something that was dope as fuck. You said it's not about networking up, it's networking across.
Yeah, like that's the fastest way. It's like people be sleep on networking across.
Message. That's so real though, because it's like, and even if you look at it like as if you're gardening, if you garden across, all them flowers are going to grow, which means that one of them are going to spout something one day.
And it's also because it's a genuine connection. Because I'm not meeting these girls because I know they're like, she knows this person, she knows this person. I'm meeting them and having a genuine connection, not even thinking like, what can they do for me? And then they, real recognize real, and then they're like, oh yeah, of course we'll say your name when somebody's looking for this. Like it's nothing. And then they know that I'll do the same. So it's all about reciprocation and genuine connection that I think a lot of people do lack nowadays.
Yeah. Do you think that's because like Instagram is like so fake?
For sure. And I think especially, like I said at the beginning of this, like, it is hard right now in this time and age. Like I feel like all of the social interaction is very foreign to all of us.
Right.
But the best way is to get a hang of it, because that's really how you can get up there.
That's so real. Look at you out here right now, getting a hang of social interaction again.
I know. But yeah, because I used to be really awkward, and like, I'm still pretty awkward, but like
we're all awkward in our own ways.
But I can just say that I've always, when I meet people, it's always like a genuine, like, nice to meet you. I don't ever think I'm better than anybody. I always meet people where they are. And I think that's what it really takes to make these solid connections.
That's so real.
If you are actually who you are, like, I'm awkward, but I own it, and I'm not afraid to like put myself out there. You make it.
I feel that. That's real. I'm like, with this podcast. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm just I just got a mic and a Zoom account. So I was like, I'm a fucking podcast now. I've never listened to a podcast, but I'm just being honest, being who I am. Like, so appreciate you for joining us on that honesty train. You feel me?
Yes, yes.
um, let's see. Let's switch into talking about your process. Let's talk about the process because your art is dope, and it's like I don't know. I feel like it has so many layers and meanings. What comes first, the idea, or does the painting come first and then you realize, you know?
It depends. It's kind of both. So like usually more often than not, I will like see something and it sparks some kind of something light bulb in my head, and it could be really random. Like it could be like a still in a commercial, or like I'll be like skipping through somebody's story and I'll see something in the background and it'll catch my eye. But it won't necessarily be what it actually is. But if I see it, then it'll spark an idea. And then sometimes I'm just like, oh, that'll look cool. And so I'll just start painting. And then throughout the painting process, then like the whole like meaning and stuff will come to me through like as I'm doing it.
That's fun.
Sometimes I'll just go in with a clear concept. I'm like, I'm gonna paint this and this is what it's gonna mean. And then it happened. Like it's definitely different every time.
Yeah. It's just really based on I guess where you're at that moment, huh?
Yeah, for sure. Like the spark of inspiration is really, yeah. Because sometimes I'm like, I have no idea what I'm gonna paint, but I want something on sadness.
No, I feel
I'll just like start painting. Yeah. But more often than not, I'll have like a visual image of what I want in my head. And it could really be inspired by like a random ad in a magazine or a billboard. And
that's tight.
Yeah, I'm like, it's that head ass artist. Like, I see something in the clouds, but it's like dead ass. Like I'll see something in the clouds, but really it's just the color scheme, and I'll apply that to something else I saw.
Yo,
it's a little chaotic.
That's fun.
The best way to explain it.
No, I feel that. I think it's even like in the just like for me, as a photographer, I see everything as like photos. I don't see regular life. I just see photos.
That's cool. Yeah.
It's weird. It's cool, but like even right now, I'm looking at this coffee bottle and I'm like, oh, the composition like this, if I framed it like that would be sick. And all that's happening. So I feel you where it's like you just look at something and you're just like, awesome, like that's so Raven shit.
No, really, I'll be like, I feel like yeah, I pretty much see it in painting. I could say that. Tight. Sure. Yeah, because even like with my set design, when I do set design for like my photographer friends, like I see the finished portrait. That's and tight. A lot of my set designs are very bright and colorful, so it's like a painting. So I can definitely agree. I see in paintings.
That's tight. Yeah, no, it's a blessing and a curse. When you're not using it enough, then you just like get drained.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I feel like then for you, it's you're never lacking inspiration, or like, what do you do when you are?
Man, I do be lacking inspiration. I feel like the past like year or two, I feel like this year I got inspired, but the past like 2 years I've been kind of drawing blanks.
Why is that, you think?
I'm not really sure. I feel like it's a multitude of things. In 2018, I had this like crazy big solo art show that was just like, I feel like I just took every ounce of creativity and like just put it all into the show. So I feel like the show kind of burnt me out a little bit, but it was definitely worth it. Yeah. Because I think ever since then, like it was just such a natural set of events. Like all of the paintings came together because they weren't like, I wasn't imagining, as I was painting these paintings, I was imagining them being in a cohesive show. And then just how like everything happened for that show was just very, very creative. And so I put a lot into it. And then after that, I was expecting like more ideas to just flow so easily, like how that one went. And then it was like not so fast. But yeah, just like, you know, I'm young, but I was younger, and so it was a lot of partying and like, you know, I was in my couple, like the past few years, I've been in and out of employment. So like when I was out of employment and just being an artist, like entrepreneur, it was it was a balancing act of partying and actually working. So it was hard to like, I feel like because I made it work. Well, this is the second time I was unemployed, I made it work. But the first time, I think I was like forcing it. Yeah, and then I was like, I wasn't ready. Yeah. And so I was like trying to force the inspiration, and it just wasn't happening.
I feel that. Yeah.
So, but what's good is because I'm a Libra and I'm a jack of all trades, master of none. When I did kind of lack inspiration in my painting, that's when I really kind of started going like headstrong into the set design.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it like I was still always creating. It was just in different lanes.
No, I feel that. Do you think, okay, so like one of my other guests, Kriston KK, we were talking about this, and we were saying like art, every medium has a season. Mm-hmm. Is that how you feel?
Yeah.
Like, okay, so like taking that concept, right, and then applying the jack of all trades, master of none, do you think that's BS? Because I don't know, I feel like your stuff is pretty masterful in my opinion. So it's like,
thank you.
Well, no, I'm serious. Like you put in the hours, right? And it's like, it shows in the work. So I don't know, just that quote really bugs me, because it's like the fact that, I don't know, I do photography, video. Basically, I do whatever the fuck I want. And it's like, but I'm filthy at what I do. And so it's like, so then, you know, like that, I don't know, talk to me. What does that quote do for you?
I feel like, because in my head, I feel like if I were to focus on one thing, I would like, I could get so like nobody could touch me if I focused on one thing. Like if I put all of my energy into painting and I just up my painting game 100%, like I could be crazy. But it's just not, it doesn't work for me. Like I can't force it to be like that all the time. So for me, when things get rough, I'm like, let me try sculpting now. But it works for me. And you know, like I don't think jack of all trades, master of none is necessarily a bad thing, because if you're not a master, you're always learning. And so like everything does continually progress. It's just slower than if I were to focus on one thing and become a master at it. But the way that they like help each other and blend, I like how they blend. So now, like when I am painting for a long time and I burn out, I got better at painting. So now when I do sculpting and I have to end up painting with sculpture, I'm better for it, and the sculpture is better.
That's tight.
So yeah, that's why I use that term.
I feel that. I like how you say you said if you're a master, then you're not learning. That's like, dang, that was hard.
Thank you.
Because it's true, you know, and I feel like the best, like looking at like, so I have two sons, and looking at them growing up and just like them learning, they have no fear because they're just learning. And so like as adults,
your sons are very cute, by the way. There's a few people's stories that I have that pop up, and I know it's because I watch them right away. But it's like, I'm like, you're a great person, obviously, but I'm like, I probably 80% watch your story because I want to see your kids in a totally non-creepy way. It's just my
No, you're not. You know, you're good. You
have really cute kids. I'm like, what are they doing today? Are we going to the park? And I'm like, you're one of those accounts.
Oh no, I appreciate that. It's definitely not weird. I've accepted and kind of learned that most of my followers are there for my wife and two kids, and I'm like I posted a selfie of myself, got fucking no love. I post them, and it's like 200 plus. I'm like,
yes. Well, they are a reflection of you, so you know.
Dang, perception.
Oh,
I'm dead. I forgot what I was saying earlier, but that's hilarious.
watching your kids grow.
Oh yeah, okay,
Learn.
yeah. Watching them learn, they're learning because and there's no fear to learn. And so if we take that as human, like as humans, as adults, as fully grown humans, um, and apply that to like our work, that makes us almost like untouchable in theory, where it's like for you, for example, you're always learning and you're craving the learning. And it's like, so then why wouldn't you try this crazy technique that nobody else is doing? Why wouldn't you do this whole painting on a series that nobody's touching? Like, makes sense. So shout out to that quote. um, so I'm curious, have you had, what's been like the hardest career block you've had? And like, how'd you get through it? Because, you know, people out here going through it, what advice, what can you tell us?
Well, there's been a lot of blocks. I wouldn't say there was like a major block, but there's like a series of blocks throughout like my creative and artistic journey. Because I will say like some of the major things was when I lost my first job, I got fired from Urban Outfitters, but that's where me and Randy, my partner, that's where we met. And so I got fired, and then shortly after she got fired, and I had never been fired before, you know, like I was good at keeping a job before. But yeah, so that was my first time getting fired. So I was freaking out because I'm like, oh my God, this is good. I don't know why anybody thinks that the getting fired is going to be on your record. But I was under the impression that I'm not going to be hireable after that because I got fired.
No.
So that was, when was that? That was probably like 2015, 2016-ish. So since we both got fired, that we were starting to collab while we were working at Urban Outfitters. And then when we got fired, we are like, you know what, we're just going to go full freelance. Like, we're not going to try and get a new job, nothing. But we were also very young.
Right.
We were not ready because like we were getting little jobs here and there. We were making some money. That was when I had quit school. And then shortly after I got fired, it was kind of like a spiral. But it was a good learning experience for sure. It was like a crash course.
I feel that.
So that first time I probably went probably 10 months of freelancing, and it was just rough. I was like postmating, I was late on rent. I was like, this is not working. So that was like a huge roadblock, but definitely a vital learning experience. After that, I had gotten a job at a sex store. That was my first job back into the workspace. I got a job at a sex store, which was like super, super fun. It definitely added to my inspiration and just like overall person. It definitely added to me. And then after that, I had gotten this really great job that was like, it was with what I do, but it was still kind of corporate. So I was getting paid good. And it was with Randy, my partner. So she got it first. And then she was like, you need to come work for us. And like our manager will hire you right away. So it was doing social media for this sample sales store in Beverly Hills.
What?
So I'm like, okay, well, it's not art related necessarily, but I'm doing social media. So I'm like doing set design and like putting together events. And like, it was a very lax job. Nice. And me and Randy were working together again. And we were really, really good because she was their official photographer and I was their social media person and content creator, if you will. So
flips hair.
But it was great for us because we were with the team and they were all like associates, but our home office was technically in New York. So we still had to like listen to the manager, but our immediate boss was actually in New York, so it was all remote.
Word.
And so we got away with a lot. So I could see it's just messed up because I could like, I'm surprised we didn't get fired for something else than what we got fired for.
Wait, okay.
We didn't technically get fired. We got like let go, like our positions got dissolved, but then all of a sudden when we were gone, they were back up. But yeah, they like dissolved our positions.
Wait,
but it's because
what'd you do? This sounds like we got to hear this story. We got to hear this.
This is all part of my learning experience. So no, we were actually like 100%. We were good at our jobs. We fucked around a lot, but can I cuss on here? I'm sorry.
Yeah, we can smoke weed. We can drink alcohol,
like,
coffee.
Oh, we're drinking.
Oh yes. Cheers. Let's cheers right now.
But yeah, so we got away with a lot. Like our job was just to make content for their Instagram. So we would be like, we're content creating. We would take some clothes and like go do a little shoot in the park a block away, but then we would leave and go do a job we got hired for, like freelancing, but we'd still be on the clock. And then we just go make that money and then come back and clock out. So like
that's called hustling.
It's called hustling. Exactly. Capitalism.
Message.
So yeah, so like, you know, we finessed it, but we were also really good at our jobs. So like we did like crazy content, but I think we were too outspoken for our positions, because we were like, we know that we're good. Yeah. And like we can speak up to why we did things the way we did. And I think New York also has like a different market than what LA. So there's a lot of clashing. And our home office in New York, all of corporate was Caucasian. Ooh, so it was also mixing, trying to communicate and having to communicate with memojis so that they wouldn't take what we said too harsh. We had to like put a bunch of emojis and like voice messages. Yeah, it was just too much because she knew that like we could do our jobs and we could probably do our jobs better than she could. And so there was like a lot of mixed personalities that were clashing. Yeah. So basically, yeah, so they ended up dissolving our positions. We got let go. And yeah, it was just like we were stunned when we got let go, because we were like, yes, we did fuck shit on the clock, but y'all didn't know about it. So the fact that you're just dissolving our position for clashing emotions is like crazy. So then after that, we were just kind of like, this was not done by us. I think this is our sign saying we're not meant to have a job, even any kind of corporate job, even if it is within our field, because we just can't work for other people. Right. And I was like, I can't go back to another job. Like, it's just not. Yeah. So that was probably a year after the first. It was probably a year and a half after the first time we were unemployed. Okay. So going into a second, knowing that we messed up the first round and knowing how to navigate now, and like really being on the hustle, and it was like the biggest thing. So like it was the biggest learning lesson, but it was the biggest like push up for us and for myself. Yeah. I feel that. So that's crazy. So like you guys were just like, fuck it. We're about to just do this. So I would say the moral of the story is to trust your gut. And because I definitely think that first time my gut was saying, no, like, I don't think you should do I think you should still try and get a job. Maybe not this job, but you should try and get a job. And I was like, no, I'm good. But I wasn't good. And this time, like, you know, we got fired for no actual reason. And it was just a sign, and we were getting jobs. And we actually got fired the day before we were supposed to leave on vacation. So we had like, it was messed up in action. Like, it was messed up when it happened. We were about to go on a girls trip to Hawaii. So they knew that we were going to be off for a week. And it's messed up because they had us create all the content for the week that we were going to be gone. So we did all this work. So I was pretty mad about that. I would have been like, delete. Oh yeah, no. Yeah, we deleted everything. And then, but in retrospect, it was nice because then on vacation, we did a lot of reflecting, and we were like, I'm not going back to this. I'm not doing this again. When we were actually like, we were good at our jobs. We were so good at our jobs. We were able to finesse our jobs. That's how good we were. Like, that's real. So yeah, it was definitely trusting your gut and just kind of going for it. And we worked from home for probably another year or two. We were she was doing her photography. I was doing my set design and painting. I got into teaching paint and sip classes. So we were both like on our hustle any way you can get it.
Yeah.
And in May, it'll be 2 years that we've been freelance.
Congrats. That's amazing.
Yes, thank you.
I think like what I like to highlight in this is like there's multiple things that I think a lot of young creatives need to hear, like pull out of that story. I think one is like the fact that like you can have a job and still do your work and still do you. Like I feel a lot of creatives are like, I'm not a real creative if I'm not full-time freelancer.
Yeah, no, definitely take your time and you can work while you do it. I suggest that. Yeah. Because I definitely didn't take that route and it was stressful. Like really, it was very taxing on my stress, my anxiety. And luckily, like the first time around, I was not ready at all. I should have kept working. Like, even if it was less than what I was working, I should have kept working until like I had some kind of savings. Luckily, the second time around, it was a good paying job. So I had a decent amount of money. And that's when I was like, you know what? I'm good. I don't think I'm going to look for a job, at least for a while. I'm going to try freelancing. But I would definitely like, don't go full blown, just like springing yourself into freelance unless you feel it in your gut. You're financially prepared, you're emotionally prepared, because it's rewarding, but it is extremely taxing.
And then like, that. And then the second thing that I think people should really pull out of that is the fact that persistence, like, like it's tight to see like somebody like for lack of better words, fall down and then, get back into corporate and then be like, nah, G, this ain't for me. And like, like that just shows the power of persistence. Because during that whole period from Urban Outfitters to where you're at now, you were doing the same shit. You were on the grind, which means like that's a clear sign that persistence wins in the end. Like you just gotta want it and know what you want.
Yeah, it's 100% persistence. Yeah, because I remember there were so many times where I was calling my mom, and it took a lot for me to kind of persuade my parents that I'm like, nah, I'm good. Like, this is my career. Like, it took a lot to persuade them because they were not fans at first. And like, I could understand because I was messing up, but they were not fans. And it took a long time. And then even after the fact, I would still be crying. Once I did persuade them that I'm good, I'd be on the phone with my mom crying like, I don't want to do art no more. I don't know what to do. I'm stressed. I'm not making any money. And she's like, you chose this life. You wanted to do this. You're fine. But it was a lot.
That's real.
So you just have to, and there's so many times, like I could tell you a number of times where I've gotten like this close to crazy opportunities. And then you just got the rug swept from under you. And there's been many times where that has happened. I'm like, shit, like I'm done. I'm over this. I can't do this no more. And then I don't know. I just keep putting myself out there. And
I feel it.
It's okay if it breaks my heart, but I'm gonna try.
No, that's real. I think, hey, however you got to get through it, you just got to get through it.
Yeah, for sure. And I just took every one of those as a learning lesson. I'm like, you know what? My name is still in their mouths. So I'm going to take that I may not have gotten this opportunity, but I had the opportunity within my grasp. And that's all that matters. Dang,
that's real. Which means, that means the next time you're going to be a little bit closer to getting that shit.
Exactly.
I love it. I want to dive into the latest and greatest. So there's so much. Your journey, you've produced a lot of work, right? I want to just talk about like what you're working on lately. Or actually, you know what? I want to dive into like one painting that sticks in my head. It's like of like the bathhouse. I feel like, was that during when you were working at the sex store, or is that
was pre-sex store? So that was the first time I was freelancing.
Okay.
So that was another one of those opportunities that was an opportunity, but it was also a big lesson. That was like the biggest, that was probably one of the biggest lessons I've learned. Cause yeah, it was right around when I got fired and I got this crazy job or this crazy commission. And I had sold a painting to Tyga.
Okay.
And I had did this art show. Yeah, I did this art show, and Tyga's people saw it, and so they bought this one painting from me. After that, and that's the time I was working with. So the guy that puts together the art show, he kind of acts as like an art agent or an art manager.
Like, so, is it okay? Ty kind of like almost like a broker, or
kind of like a broker. Yeah, he acts as like your manager or your
Gotcha.
Broker. So so he kind of managed the deal for that first one, and then he's like, Tyga wants another piece from you, and he's like, bring all your paintings. We're gonna go to his house. He's gonna look at your paintings, and he's either gonna buy more of your paintings or he's gonna commission you to do a custom painting for him. So I was like, oh my gosh, like, you know, I just quit. So this was big. So I took all my paintings. We met at Tyga's house. And like, I didn't have a lot. So the painting he bought was this huge, like, ramen piece, sexual ramen piece.
Yeah.
And that was like one of the first times that I did a huge canvas. So all of my other ones prior to that were pretty small. So I brought what I had, but he's like, no, I want a big one.
Okay.
I was like, okay, cool. So then we were discussing it, and I was like, oh, I could do like a bathhouse, because he wanted it something to go with the first painting. And the first painting was very sexual. I think he's Vietnamese, but he has like a lot of like Japanese influence, so that's why he likes my paintings.
Got it.
So I came up with the bathhouse, and I was like, we'll do all these little Easter eggs in it. It'll be similar to my first painting, like the same vibe. I'm gonna include like a Tyga, because it's Tyga, and just little things. So it was custom to him. And that was the biggest piece I've ever done. Well, besides the Diddy mural, it was the biggest piece I've ever done. And it was 6 feet by 4 feet, 4 by 6 feet.
Dang.
And it was 3 canvases. So the 3 canvases together were 4 by 6 feet.
That's crazy.
And so, but I was working with that broker, and he was the middleman. So I wasn't in direct contact with Tyga. He was contacting Tyga, and then he was contacting me. And so it was 2 years ago. So Tyga came out with a project, and he was like back and forth from Vietnam because he was working on some brand. And so my broker was like, he's back in Vietnam, but he's coming back soon. Like, just start on the painting without getting a deposit.
Oh.
Yeah. He's like, but he had bought my previous painting. So I was like, okay, you know, like,
right. You're like, sure.
Sure. Yeah. And
he's Tyga.
I was very new. Yeah. He's Tyga. I'm not going to say no to this. So I started the painting. The painting took a while. Like, I wasn't working. So all of my energy was just going into this painting. It probably took me about a month to finish it. Like maybe a little less than a month, because they were trying to rush me too. But the whole time though, Tyga is like here and there, and I still didn't have my deposit, but I was close to being done. So I was just like, it's fine. Like, y'all just can pay me out at the end.
Right.
So I finished the painting, and then, and all those there was Easter eggs, there was custom, like little Japanese characters that were saying certain words that pertain to Tyga. And then so I sent them I sent my broker the picture. My broker sent it to Tyga. Tyga says he loves it. Like, let's meet on Monday. I was like, cool.
I'm so nervous. Yeah. I don't know. I can't tell where the story's going. I'm not ready.
Tyga said, let's meet on Monday. He loves it. The whole time I'm talking to the broker's talking to Tyga. And then Monday comes around, and I'm not hearing anything. And I'm hitting up my broker, and he's like, yeah, he's not responding. Like, I'm not sure what's going on. Like, I'll see what's up. And it's crickets. Like, I don't hear nothing from Tyga for days. And I know the guy who's acting as my broker, like, I know him, and he can be a little forward, a little forceful. So I'm kind of scared that he kind of scared off Tyga because we never heard from Tyga again. Yeah.
No.
After he was like raving about it. He's like, I love it. Like, let's meet as soon as Monday. Like, da 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 da. And then, yeah, we never heard from him again. So I was stuck with the bathhouse painting. I still have it to this day.
Well, Tyga, if you're listening to this, go get your bathhouse. Go get your bathhouse.
I've tried to reach out on several occasions. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't to his liking, actually. I don't know.
Damn.
But
I'm guessing that you and this broker are no longer working.
No, not really. Not really, no. And that's another thing. He's a very big name.
Oh,
so,
no.
Yeah. So we're
afterwards. I want to know the name. I'm curious. Afterwards.
I still talk to him. Like, he's like, if I've ran into him several times after the fact, and like, you know, like it is what it is. But I just know I know how to move. That's why it's funny that you brought up that painting, because it was very monumental in my, like, I don't care who it is, I'm getting contracts, always get your deposit.
Wait, what was that?
Always get a deposit. Yeah.
There we go. Yep.
Always get a deposit, cut out middlemen, speak to your clients directly. Like, there should never have been no middleman, but he was acting as my connect. So
would you ever get like a real broker or agent?
I want to. Yeah. I do. I definitely have trust issues after that. So yeah, it would have to be a very natural occurring thing. Like, I meet them, like I was talking before, like, it's not hi, I want to become your broker. Like, I feel like it needs to happen naturally. Like, oh, you're cool, we're vibing, and you're an art broker. Cool, I'm an artist. Like, I want it to happen naturally. So I'm in no rush to really get one. But if it happens, it happens.
I feel that.
I definitely think there needs to be a genuine connection. And not that there wasn't with that one, because like, even with that, because that all came about from an art show, and the art show was amazing. Like, it was a dope one of the coolest art shows I've ever been in. And I got that. I met my broker, who's this big name in the fashion and art business. But I met him through a friend.
Got it.
And it was somebody I met randomly. I think me and him actually met on Tinder. And it just like, it was like,
shout out Tinder.
Because it was like, it was a misconnection. Like, it never happened, but we like had a friendship. So then he was like, yo, like, come meet my boss. Like, he does art shows and he wants you in his show. And then I come and meet him, and he's like this guy that's kind of like does a lot of stuff. And I was like, oh yeah. And then the art show was dope. So it was worth all the learning lessons.
I will say that. Well, see, that's what's dope about this podcast. Is I want this to be one of those things where people can tune in and learn from those kind of experiences, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's crucial. And it's like, I don't know, you just trust people. You're like, you know, like, why would you be on some fuckboy shit? Like,
yeah.
No, I'm right there with you. I feel that. I want to talk about Babe Cave.
Babe Cave, yes.
Let's talk about that. Like, let's talk about it. Just tell me. Like, I don't know. Well, you know, for all the listeners that have never heard, Babe Cave is the dope ass studio, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ran by all women.
All women.
All babes in the cave.
All babes. Yeah. All babes. Babe ran. But yeah, women owned, Babe Cave. So me and my partner who owned the Babe Cave, she's the one that I met at Urban, and a couple of years ago we became roommates. And so we originally started calling our apartment the Babe Cave. Okay. We were all creatives living under the same roof, so we just called it. Oh, and then during our first freelance venture that year, we had these guy friends that were staying with us, and like, it was really fun, but it was just like, it was like too much. Like, we were all like unemployed and just like doing crazy.
I feel that.
Like, how are we gonna make money today? Let's go paint something. Like, it was just creative, so it was fun, but it was like a lot. And so they finally left, and it was back to the original girls. So we're like, that night we like started calling our apartment the Babe Cave. We're like, no boys allowed, Babe Cave.
That's hilarious. I love it.
And so yeah, we just like we always just called our like girl group the Babe Cave, or apartment the Babe Cave, and everyone would come visit us at the Babe Cave. And we were working out of here, so we would always do like our photo shoots in our living rooms and our bedrooms and our dining rooms. Painting, sculptures were all over the place, and this was the original Babe Cave. And our dream was to always have a creative studio, and that was outside of our living situation.
Yep.
And this year, despite COVID, we managed to get our hands on a beautiful space that worked perfectly for us in downtown LA.
Yay.
It's solely a creative work studio separate from our apartment, and yeah, it's like an all purpose creative space. So we got blessed. That's why we like had to take it, is because it's like broken up into 3 different rooms. So we have like a standard photo studio, which is like Deja's room, my partner's room. We have like a middle room that we can like have meetings and like lounge area. And then I have an art room, it's separate. So my art studio, I double as a photo set room. So every single month I switch it up and I build a whole set in there that people could rent out for photos and videos.
So tight.
Yeah. So now we run solely out of our studio, and it's been pretty awesome since then. We are now like 6 or 7 months into our lease. So it's been a fun journey for sure.
I feel that is so. You said there's also Babe Cave merch and everything you guys are doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have Babe Cave merch. We have like keychains and mugs and sweatshirts.
That's crazy. So are you guys gonna exhibit stuff there too? Like, do you like galleries and stuff, or?
It's pretty small.
Right.
We've held like, we did a holiday bazaar around Christmas.
Tight.
So every Sunday in December, we like turned the whole space into like a store. And so we did have people come through and shop. And as far as like a gallery though, it's a little bit small for a gallery. We have a lot of stuff in there, you know, we have all our sets, all our lighting equipment. But now we also know people that have their own spaces that we can have like gallery art shows there. That's so now tight. This is sole workspace.
That's tight. So if people are curious about booking, where can they go?
They can go to www.thebabecave.la, and all our booking is handled online. We have in our standard studio room, we have all the different color backdrops. We have a little makeup station, and you can kind of do what you want. We're very affordable. And in the other room, I change it at the beginning of each month. So every single month it's different.
That's so tight.
Immerse yourself in a new world. It's
hard.
Yeah.
So like I'm just curious, looking back, maybe like let's go back like 15 years in the past, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did that Sierra imagine this Sierra right now?
I think so. Not exactly. Like, she didn't know how it was going to happen or what, but I think she definitely imagined this for herself. Like, I think about that a lot, because I'm like, if I knew of somebody like this when I was that age, it would be it would just be good for me, because I've definitely, like, the person who I have become is definitely somebody that younger me would have looked up to. Like, I get to do art and crafts for a living. I'm my own boss. I work with all girls, and it's very like Sex in the City in LA.
I'm dead.
I was definitely watching that back then, and I was like, oh my god, I want to be with my girlfriends working and doing stuff. And I would say that's pretty much how it has become. So
Well, it's dope to see that, you know, and I think like a lot of like female colleagues and just people that I know have mentioned you a lot randomly. And so it's like, so like you have done the inspiration part, and like it's only starting, and that's what's dope is there's so many young creatives that are looking up to you. So like you're like you're killing it. Keep
Thank
doing what
you.
you're doing, homie. Like for real.
Thank you. Yeah, that kind of attests too to that like network. It's like a joke that like I know everybody, and like there's my like I have homies like Sisi can't go nowhere without knowing people. But it's crazy because what also like has formed me as like a person, as an artist, and like as knowing people is when I like in that year when I was freelancing, I took every single art show. If somebody offered me an art show, whether it was in a backyard or some like random storefront in Venice, like I was doing every single art show that was offered to me. So throughout the process, like I met a lot of people. And so my name just got out there a lot. And I didn't care how, like, I didn't care who it was. I was like, oh, you got an art show? Sure. I'm showing up and I'm showing out. And all my friends are pulling up.
Hey.
And that really is like kind of how it was it was annoying at times, but I definitely think it was worthwhile doing it. I don't do that now. I'm able to, but it definitely formed how I put my shows together. Like, cause I've done enough shows where I'm like, this was trash. They were not looking out for the artist whatsoever. And so now I can be picky. I can be very selective. Like I don't say yes to everything. And like, I've earned it. Cause I definitely like, and when pre-COVID, like me and my friends like to plan all kinds of shows. And so like when I put on shows now, it's because like the last group show we had was probably in 2017. And we were planning on doing more pre-COVID, but like I know now, like I make sure all of my artists have proper space, how to hang their stuff up where it shows for everyone, marketing and promoting that thing. So definitely just going and saying yes to everything is gonna get your name out there. And I feel like that's probably what found me, is random people coming to art shows, because I was at all of them.
Nah, for real. That right there is a fire ass message. I think well, this is thinking about other stuff I've seen you do. Like I have to ask about the Telfar one.
Oh yes. So I recently did a giant paper mache Telfar bag.
Hard.
That was actually thank you. That was actually for my friend's music video. And he came out with a song, and he's talking about Telfar bags in the song. And he's an artist as well, dope visual artist, recording artist, Young Kazi. Young Kazi. But he does claymation. And so we started connecting just because we like each other's art. And then I've helped him on several music videos. That's another friend that just lobs jobs at me all the time. He's like, yo, we just got hired for this claymation and we want you to do set design. So, and he was somebody I just met off of Instagram. Like we had mutual friends, but we essentially met on Instagram.
Right.
But yeah, so he does claymation. So when he did that song, he did a short, like probably 10-second claymation video and posted it, and Telfar reached out to him because they thought it was dope. So he's done several projects for Telfar now. And then for that music video, Telfar sent him a bunch of bags. So the video hasn't come out yet. We're actually finishing it up this month. But yeah, that big Telfar bag was for his music video.
That's amazing.
So it just lives at the Babe Cave now.
That's tight. I'm hoping to visit soon so I can
please
just peep it out.
Almost all the time.
Tight. Are we in the Babe Cave right now or no?
No, this is my actual room. This is the original Babe Cave. But
Word.
Yeah.
Amazing.
We're there like 6 days out of the week, so
okay.
Let me know.
I feel that. Noted. Let's switch into the second to last section. This is called Gems. Imagine right now somebody was listening to this podcast and whatever you said right now was going to change their lives forever. What would you say?
Oh, goodness gracious. That's what I would say. Nah, what would I say? I would say a couple things because I'm a Libra, but I'm gonna mesh them all together like they're one sentence, so I can get away with it. I would say trust your gut 100%. That's like bare minimum advice. Trust your gut because it really is there for you. Also, like, don't take life so seriously, because from being a freelancer and working with a lot of people and working corporate jobs, random low jobs, is none of these jobs care about you. Life is short, and I'll be damned if I am spending this life working for people who don't appreciate me not doing what I love. So cover your bases, but definitely go after what you want to do, because this life is not worth just spending it working for somebody else and doing something that you're miserable.
That's real.
Yeah.
Dang, that was a great one. That was a great one.
Okay, thank you. I was like, there's so many gems in my head.
I feel that. All right, last section. You ready for this? This is speed questions.
I know I'm not looking forward to this.
All right,
the Libra in me is not excited. But go ahead.
Well, actually, before we start this, we have to come back to the second question. What's one word to describe yourself and why?
Okay. We do have to go back to this. One word to describe me.
After walking through your journey.
Ooh, what's the word? What is the word? One word to describe me is, there's a specific word that I'm thinking of that I used to use on all of my resumes. It's but I can't, now I'm of course drawing a blank. It's resourceful.
Ooh.
I'm resourceful.
Yes.
Everything about my life, I have been very resourceful, and I get it how I can.
that might
I'm gonna
be
make it work. I'm resourceful. I'm gonna make it work. That is my tagline.
I love that. That needs to be an IG bio right there.
Yes. No, I legit use that word on all of my resumes. I'm resourceful. I will figure it out one way or another. It's getting done.
I love it. All right, now speed questions. Ready?
Questions.
Phone calls, text, or FaceTime?
Ooh, text.
Would you rather drink water the rest of your life or ginger ale?
Water.
What animal would you be?
Did you say water or wine?
Water. Well, no. Well, now I'm curious. Water or wine?
Okay, water. I'm not. Wine over ginger ale, but water over wine.
Wine. Okay, got you. What animal would you be if you were in a jungle musical?
Ooh, I would be a peacock.
All right, I fuck with it. What is your go-to thing to do at a carnival?
I'm a thrill seeker. I like all the scary rides.
Nice. Yeah. Coffee or tea? Coffee.
I'm a crackhead.
Well, we got some Bob. We got some Bob coming to you. Would you rather be blind or deaf?
Deaf. Well, just because of my career path, deaf, but I also am not trying to see these hoes. Just kidding.
I'm dead. Oh, you heard it here first, y'all.
It's the line.
Hey, I feel you. If you had to pick one friend to be stranded on an island with, who would it be? Anyway, well, after this interview, I think the audience would know, possibly. One
friend. All of my friends, we would eventually kill each other. There's not like one one friend that I would really like. I need to be on this island with this friend. One friend.
I'm dead.
I would probably be on an island with my little brother, because he is definitely like me, and he's quite resourceful, and he's one of those guys that was really into like apocalyptic and like Walking Dead shit. So I feel like if anybody can survive and flourish on its deserted island, it's my little brother. We'd probably kill each other, but he would build the fires and he would make us a craft to get off the island. So it would probably have to be him.
I want to take a second to acknowledge. I love the thought you put into this. Like, I appreciate that.
I'm a very literal person, and I think it all through. So I'm like, any other of my friends, we'd kill each other and we probably wouldn't be productive. But my little brother, we're getting off that island.
I love it. I love it. If you had to pick one song to play on repeat forever, what song would it be?
One song. It would be the Libra is jumping out. I have too many. It would be. I think it's a Frank Ocean song.
Okay.
I'm trying to think if it's off Channel Orange or if it's on Blonde.
Okay.
I was very into both of those. I listened to them many times.
I feel like Blonde's more doable for like repetition.
Yeah, that's true. Dang, can I just say the Blonde album? I've listened to the Blonde album so much. I can't even think of a song that I would like, the one song that I could listen to.
To help the Libra-ness, we will go with that one.
Thank you.
Night or daytime?
Nighttime.
And then the most important question, Papi and Friends podcast or Papi and Friends podcast?
Papi and Friends podcast.
Nice.
Okay, that was hard.
Yo, thank you so much for hopping on.
No problem. It was fun.
Do you have any like shout outs you want to do, or like anything you want to wrap up with?
If you need cool photos, book at the Babe Cave LA. Woman owned, POC owned. Yeah. babecave.la on Instagram.
Nice.
Sisi _hood. SI, not CC. SI, like yes, CC, SI _hood.
Boom.
I just spilled wine on my bed.
Hey.